Okay, so let's start. Yesterday we are talking about the bash scripting. Okay, and we discussed about the if else condition, if you remember. Okay, if part we saw that how to talk about the conditional statement. Let me become the root user. And yesterday we created up to if condition.sh file. Okay, now we are going to proceed ahead. So after this if condition, okay, after this if condition, we are going to start with the for loop. Okay, we are going to start with the for loop. Okay, so what is a for loop here? Okay, so take an example to understand the for loop. Okay, let me just give some example here first in the Python. So for loop is basically a continuous statements, okay, where you write something like this. Take an example, we created a in which we are writing some data here, something like this. Something like this we're done, right? Now, if somebody is saying me that can you print everything, right? Can you print all the fruits in this list, right? So I will simply write something like this for 4, okay. I have the list of fruits, so I will just take a variable with the name called fruits. Okay. In fruits is present in which, right? So fruit is present in the word called A. A is basically a list here. Okay. So I'm just say for fruits in A, what you have to do is you have to print fruits. What it is going to do, it will print the fruits list. If I'll do run, see, they are printing it. Is this making sense to all of you? What they are doing? They went to variable A. A is having the list. Inside this, you written some value, right? So they are taking some value. So first value, they took the apple, they saved it in this variable, then they printed it. Second time, they will see, okay, this is the value. Now they will put it here, they will print it. The third value is this one, they will print it. If there are 5 items are there, okay, like take an example, 2 more items you are writing here. Something like this. So as soon as you are going to run, so in place of 3, they will automatically run 5 because they understand, right? This for loop understand that total how many statements are there. If there are 5, they will write it, print it 5 times. If there are 10, they will print it 10 times. Okay. So exactly same way, if you want to achieve this type of the for loop condition statement, okay. In case of the bash scripting, what you have to do? The first thing again, you'll be creating a file. So I'm just creating a file with the name called for loop simple. Okay. And if you'll see in this document now how I'm writing this, okay. So this is the command you have to write, vi for loop simple.sh. This will open the vi editor. Inside this, what content you have to paste? You have to paste this content. Then you have to change the permission of that, and then you have to run that script. That is the thing basically, how we written like this, these 2 boxes. Okay. So I am creating a file with the name called, take an example, for loop simple.sh. Inside this file, we are writing the cven command. If you want me to make the color change, so let me just do it. Okay. Inside this, you have to simply write for. Okay. Now you can write whatever the things you want to write. Like take an example, I want to write for user. Okay, for user. User is basically we are writing some username here, right? So for user in, okay. Now whatever the list you are writing in the Python, that everything you can just write it here also. Like take an example, we are mentioning about some user here, John, Jack, Kishan. Or let me give some different name because John, Jack, everything we already created as a user in this machine. Okay. And so let's give something like this. Okay, so basically we have 4 user in our company, like something like this. 4 user in employee 1, employee 2, employee 3, employee 4. Okay. What you have to do is you have to do, if I want to simply print the list, I will simply do echo echo $m, right? Makes sense? And I will simply say done. What this is going to print, anybody can tell me? What do you think it will print? Actually, it will be not $n, actually, it will be $user. Just give me a second. Because we created the it will be $user. Yeah. Now tell me what it should print. Anybody? What happened to all of you? I just shown you in the Python, right? Still you are not able to guess what it will be the output here. See, even we did not completed 5 to 7 classes, still just now only you all are just losing the interest. I don't know what will happen after 1 or 2 months of the training. Just now I shown you, right? This thing. Is there any difference you are seeing? Whatever the logic I written here and here. Then why you are not able to tell the answer what it should print?
It's going to print employee 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah, it will print like that only, right? So this is a usual thing. We done exactly. That's why first I shown you in the Python automatically. Then only I'm asking you.
Yeah.
So it is just going to print it because we are just writing the echo command here. Simply save
Yeah.
this file. We'll be giving the chmod 755, basically the executing permission. And if I'm going to run this, so it is printing employee 1, employee 2, employee 3, employee 4. Like that here they were printing the fruits. Okay. Now the question
Yeah.
is why we are printing the employee 1, employee 2, employee 3, employee 4. Okay, what is the benefit of this, right? So if you remember in the last to last class, basically in the lab 4, I shown you how to create a user, right? And whenever we are creating a new user in the Linux, it was getting added here, right? Kisan, John, Jack, Roy. We are just writing the command called user add, right? And they were creating the user with the name called Kisan. User add Kisan, it will create a user with the name called Kisan. Okay. So similarly, if there are 4 employees, if you want to create something, so rather than writing like this, okay, what you can do is you can simply come to this script. You can say that do one thing. Uh, just after printing the name, just run one more command. What command I have to run? I am simply saying user add $user. Okay, so basically you know that this command is going to run how many times? 4 times, right? This 2 lines. So they are going to run first 4 times. So first time they will run user add employee 1. So employee 1 will be added, employee 2 will be added, employee 3 will be added, employee 4 will be added. So all the 4 employees they will add it. Okay, something like this. And if you want to make sure that it should print also after adding the user, so you can simply say echo. You can simply write $user account created. Something like this. You can just write it something like this. Okay. Now, as soon as if I'm going to save this, what will happen if I'm going to run this script? So see, they say that employee 1 account created, employee 2 account created like this way. And you can verify also cat/etc/password file. See, all the 4 employee got created in a single go. So that is the benefit of the bash scripting. Hope this makes sense to you now.
Yes.
So this is about the simple for loop. There are some for loop with the numbering also. Okay, you can create multiple numbering. Okay. So take an example in the Python, if you want to do this numbering one, okay, so you can simply write the logic something like this. For I in range, not I, you can just write, take an example, any variable for num, okay, num in range 1 to 10, what you have to do? You have to print the value of num.
No.
So they will start the counting from 1 and they will print up to 9 here. If I'll do run, so they started with 1, they printed up to 9. Okay, because we said that, so in the Python by default, what happened if you talk about the range, so they will start the counting from the first number, but whatever the last number you give in, okay, they will just stop before that. This number they don't include it. Okay, that is the Python one. If I want to print up to 10, then you have to write up to 11 here, then only it is going to print. What happened to this? Let me just refresh this page after just copying something else on the pen from this. So say 1 to 10 it is printing. Okay. Similarly, if somebody want to print the counting from 1 to 50, okay, or 1 to 50, but I don't want to print like this 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. Okay. I want that first you print 1, okay, then you print 6, okay, then you print 11. Basically, we are jumping with the number called 5. We are doing the sum. If I'll run it, you see, they are printing like this 1, 6, 11, 16, 21. Whatever the number you will do, they will add the sum in that. Okay, and they will give that. So that also you can do. By default, if you don't give number, they will increment by 1. If you want to give some increment with some different value, just write it. Similarly, in the bash scripting too, if you are going to create a file with the name called for loop range, so I'll create a file with the name called for loop range.sh. Inside this, the first line will be writing the cven command. Now, if I'm going to write here for, and for num, okay, in, okay, we don't have to write any range or something here. You can just give here curly bracket. You can start the counting from 1. Okay, you can just print up to, take an example, 10, give the curly bracket and say that if I'm saying you that you have to print like this, so you have to simply print echo dollar value of num, echo dollar value of num, and done. That's your work. So basically they will start the counting from 1 and they will print 10. In the Python, they print up to 9 only, but in the bash scripting, they will print up to 10. That is the normal thing I said. Okay, that you have to print, start from 1, you have to print 10. Okay, so if I'll save this file, so that's done. If I'll do chmod 755 to the for loop range.sh /for loop range.sh. So say it's working perfectly fine. 1 to 10 it is printing. Okay. But again, you can think of that what is the use case of printing 1 to 10, right? What is makes sense or something, right? So sometimes you know that somebody say you that you have to create files, right? You have to create some files here with the name called file 1, file 2, file 3, file 4 like that. I'm saying you have to create 10 files with the name called file 1, file 2, file 3, file 4 like that. So are you going to create the file each time, right? You are going to hit the command 10 times, touch file 1, then touch file 2 like that? No. You can simply come inside this file, okay, and just say that I don't want to print something here, okay, or let's print also and just write one more command here, touch. You have to create a file, right? So you have to create the file with the name called file1, okay, but I don't want to create the file1 with the name 10 times. I want to create first time they will create file1, then file2, file3 like that. So I'm saying your file name will be file $num. So automatically $num value will be 1. So they will create file 1, then they will create file 2 like that way. Okay. And if I'm going to save this, currently you are seeing that there is no file. As soon as I'm going to run this script, okay, what they done in the backend, see, they created 10 files, file 1, file 2, file 3 like that. Now, if you want to delete all these files also, that is also simple. Simply you have to come here, go to this file. In place of touch command, you know the command, how to delete it. Simply you have to use the rm-rbf and the file $num. That's it. Something like this. They are going to delete only the file 1, file 2, file 3 like that. I don't want to delete all the script file, everything. Okay. I'll just save this. If I'll run this, see, they said that we removed all this file. If I'll do ls, all the file got deleted. Hope it makes sense to you.
One quick question actually. How do we create a file in a directory?
File inside a directory?
Yeah.
So either you can go inside that directory, you can create it, right? That is a one way. Like take an example, I'm creating a directory one. Yeah.
Not like this with the Python program.
Python program. So see, take an example, this is a directory one, right? Now you want to create
Yeah.
file one, file two, everything inside this directory. That is your question?
Yeah, with the Python program. Actually, in the previous step, actually you created a files, right? Multiple files through the
Yeah,
program.
that's what I'm saying. You want to create
Yeah,
all this file inside this directory, right? That is
correct.
your goal.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have to simply open this file. Okay. Here you have to use the exactly same command. Touch. Okay. Here you have to give your directory name. Directory one. Inside that you want to create, right? Then give slash and then give the file dollar now. Okay.
So
That means we
actually,
are creating
we
inside this
no
directory.
need to mention make directory here because make directory
Directory
is
we
the
already
location.
created. Directory we already created, right?
Oh, okay.
Directory we already
So
manually created it. Okay.
got you.
And directory we don't have to create multiple times. Making sense? Because we have only one directory. Inside that I want to create multiple files. Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay.
our goal is not to create, because see, when I will hit the command mkdir directory one only one time, directory will be created, right? So we don't have to run this command 10 times. I want to create file 10 files. That's why I'm running it inside this loop. Making sense? So I'll just save this file, run this script. What they done? Here nothing is visible, but if you'll go inside the directory one, you'll be able to see all the files.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's come here for load range.sh. Now take an example. I want to do some increment, right? So by default they are incrementing with one only. But again, if I want to do as Python, so I can say let's start counting from one, go up to 100 and do the increment of 10, something like this. So I'll just save this file. Just you have to mention dot dot. Okay, wq. If I'll now run this script, see 1, then plus 10 like that way, plus 91. After 91, they will do plus 10. It is going to be 101. That's why they did not done that. Fine. How to do the increment? By default, increment will be 1. If you want to do the increment with some number, you have to mention like this. Similarly, take an example if you are going with the while loop. Okay. So before understanding the while loop, let's understand only one question. If you do you know anything like how to use calculator in the Linux machine? Anybody aware about that?
No.
Okay, so there is a command called expr. Okay, expr is meaning is expression. If I want to sum two number, I will do 20 plus 40. They will give us the output here itself. Okay, expr 50 minus 10. So they will do the condition here itself. That means expr command is helping us to do the mathematical operation. Making sense?
Yeah.
Once we got the idea of this, now let's try to understand the while loop. So again, I am printing the while loop here in the Python. But before running this, you have to tell me what do you understand, okay? Like what it will print. That is the thing you have to tell me. So a is equal to 1. This is just a variable I created. Now I'm just writing a logic here. While a is greater than 10, or let me just write like this. While a is less than 10, what you have to do is you have to print a. Now what do you think what it will print? Anybody?
One.
It will print 1. Okay. How many times it will print? It will
One
print 1,
time.
that is correct. One time.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other? Anybody other than that? Who think that it
Because
will print? Hmm. You're
we
saying
did
something.
not mention the number of times, right? So maybe it will print one time.
But no, see, this is a statement we written, right? So
Oh,
while,
okay.
what is the meaning of this while? While basically we are saying that while, that means you have to check for a statement. A statement is a is less than 10. So how many times I will compare then 1 is less than 10? If we even if we are going to compare it millions time, still it is going to give you the same, right? That means true statement only. Okay, that means they will be keep printing it infinite number of times. Making sense? Okay, because I am saying to the while that while you have to keep checking this until and unless this statement is true. Okay, so now the question is 1 is less than 10. Okay, this is a true statement, but for how many times? For infinite number of times, right? Even if I'm going to ask you this question 100 times, so still you will give the same answer, right? 1 is less than 10. That is true statement. Okay, so that's why if I'm going to run it, this is going to print infinite number of times. Okay, currently this website have some blocker. Okay, so their system does not crash. Okay, that's why they stopped it after some time. Okay, but actually if you're going to run this exact same command in your local laptop, it can lead to your computer crash. Okay, because you are going to run the exact same command millions and millions of times. This will be keep printing. Okay, your computer is going to stuck in at some point. Making sense?
Yeah.
Okay, now if I want to print, right, I want to start the counting from 1 and I'm saying that let's go up to 9. Okay, and then only just stop it. Okay, so how I can do? I am simply saying first you have to compare is the 1 is less than 10. So yes, it is true statement. Then you have to print a. Then that means you will print a is equal to 1. Okay, after that what you have to do is the next value of a will be a plus 1. That's what I am saying. Okay, the current value of a is 1. Okay, then you will print a. That means you printed 1. After that what you have to do is the new value of a will be a plus 1. That is 1 plus 1. That is 2. So new value of a will be 2. Now you are going to compare is the 2 is less than 10. So yes, then you are going to print 2 this time. The new number will be 3 and you will be keep comparing up to 9. Okay, once 9 is less than 10, you will print 9. Now you'll do 9 plus 1, it will be 10. So is 10 is less than 10? Is this true statement or false statement? Anybody? Is 10 is less than 10? Is this true statement or false statement?
False.
False, right? So that means from now on, they will not start to do anything. Okay. And that's why if I'm going to run this, so this loop is going to run from 1 to 9 because they are increasing this at this point. Okay. You can increase it with the number called 5 also. You can go up to here 50 also, something like that also you can do. You can do the run. Okay, and that also condition can be done. So while is basically a condition where we are keep checking the things until and unless that statement is getting false. Okay, so while loops are also useful if you have to check the condition that whether directory is created, whether user is created. These all things we can easily check it using this commands. Okay. So once we are saying that, okay, while condition is again a continuous statement, they will keep checking the condition. If condition is true, they will keep doing the work, whatever they will tell to them. So exactly same way, if we try to while loop here, so let's create a file. I'm creating a file with the name called while loop.sh. This I4 insert mode. Okay. Now again, I'm starting, take an example, I'm starting here with the name called a is equal to 0. Again, a value we given. Now here I will write while. Okay. You know, here we cannot write the condition directly, so we have to always use the square bracket. Yesterday we talked about this in the if condition also. Then you have to simply say $a. That means we are comparing is a is less than 10, right? So we'll be write a is less than 10, something like this. Okay. If a is less than 10, then what I am saying is what you have to do. You have to do some work. What work? You have to simply print echo value of $a. If I'm going to simply do the done, what will happen? They are going to run it infinite times and they will crash our Linux machine. So we don't want to do that. Okay. I'm saying after printing a, do one thing. The new value of a will be a plus 1. But you cannot do like this because you know that I shown you in the Linux bash script, you cannot do the mathematical calculation like this. In the mathematical calculation, you have to write some command like this, xpr 2 plus 3, something like this you do, right? So if I want to 2 plus 1, then it will give the value is equal to 3. Okay. But again, we cannot do like this because we don't have any fixed value here, right? So we'll simply say $a. Okay. So they will be keep adding 1 to the value of $a and that they will store it in a variable called a. That is my goal. And before this, just you have to give the backquote symbol. This is not the single quote. This is the backquote symbol. Just remember that you are keeping this statement in the backquote. Okay, then only it will run. Is this making sense? Backquote, all of you are aware about, right? It is downside of your escape button, okay, in your keyboard. Simply done this. If I'm going to run this script, chmod 755 to the while loop.sh /while loop. So say it's printing from 0 to 9. That means it is working perfectly fine. Okay. So like this way we can easily do it. Tomorrow, if somebody is saying me something like this, let's create some interesting logic. Okay. Let me just show you what we can do. Okay. It's again totally on your knowledge what you are doing. Okay. So take an example I'm saying here. This thing I'm writing $3. This thing I am writing $2, and this thing I am writing $1. Okay, what is the meaning of this? So basically, we created a statement. Okay, we created a statement here. Okay, something like this. Okay, in which we are assigning value of a. You can assign any value to a now because I written here $1. Okay, so take an example. I'm assigning the value of a is equal to 5. Okay, so that will be basically the $1. $1 is equal to 5. Basically, we are giving. Okay. Now take an example. I'm saying that you have to start the counting from 5 and you have to go up to 100. Then that we have to write it in the $2. I have to start the counting from 5. You have to go to the 100. And now you want to jump by which number? After 5, what you want to print? I want to do the $3 is equal to 20. That means they will start the counting like this: 5, then 25, okay, then plus 20, again, then 45, then again 20, then it will be 65. Like this way, they will be keep going up to 100. Okay, 100 they cannot cross it because we given it will be always less than 100. Okay. So if you want to do like this, that also you can do. Okay, so let me just show you. I will save this file. If I want to run this script directly, it will not print anything. See, syntax error is coming. Let me just close this because we did not return the value here. So this type of the error is going to come. And if I will not stop manually now, what will happen is this is going to print syntax error for infinite number of times because we did not give in any logic, right? So let's close this using the Control C button. Now just say in the while loop, let's start the counting from 21. Okay, let's start the counting from 21 and go up to 210. Go up to 210, or let's go up to 211. Why I am doing that, you'll be able to understand. And I am saying that just do the sum of 21. That means they will print that table of 21, 21, 42, like this way they will start to print. Okay, 21, 42, 63, like that way, 84. So see, 21, 42, 63, 84, 105, 126. We printed a table of 20 by seeing this logic. If somebody is saying me that can you print the table, all of you know, right? These things are normal mathematical tables we are talking about. Okay. So if somebody is saying me that can you print the table of 17, we know that last 7 into 10s, it will be 170, right? But I have to go a little bit increment because we did not compare with equal to. Okay, we compare with the less than. So 171, and you have to do the increment of 70. That's it. See, table of 17 got created. How fast it is, right? Even a bigger number also you can do. Let's take an example. Somebody is saying me that can you write the table of 46? I will just write 461 and 46. That's it. Present. 46 table got ready. Is this making sense? This one, all of them? And if you want to see what are the things we done, just read this. If you are not able to read and understand any of this line, you can just ask me. If you're not able to understand anything here. The first 17 is getting stored here. The last value 171 is getting stored here. And the sum of 17 that is getting stored here. That is the meaning. Is this fine? Is this fine? Yes or no?
Yeah, this is fine, but how do we know the syntax actually, while actually after a while actually you gave the syntax, right? A minus LT $2.
No, but this syntax we have to remember, right? See, in the Python also, this is a syntax, right? We have to remember that, see, if I just press this print at this point now, this is going to give the error. This is not the correct thing, right? So we have to remember that after this, we have to give some space. There should be identity tension will be there like this way. Now only it will work. Okay. So this syntax we have to remember. There is nothing shortcut in that. Okay.
Okay.
Syntax we have to remember.
But it varies for each program, right? So how do we
For
know
each
that?
programming language, it is going to vary definitely.
And how deep we should know for the DevOps?
Those for what? Like which syntax?
The
See,
the Python programming and the shell scripting.
no, it totally depends on your choice now. Whatever the company they are demanding, okay, or whatever you are comfortable with. Nobody is going to force you. Okay. At last, your goal is see, somebody said you that you have to create 100 files. Okay. So it doesn't
Yeah.
matter whether you are creating it using the Python or whether you are creating it using the Bash. At last, they want that output, right? So I am just showing you all the scenario, whichever the things you think that is easy for you, you can proceed ahead like that way. Okay, but I will say you in the starting of career, focus only on the bash scripting for now. Okay, Python you can learn parallelly. Okay, and if you want little bit more understanding of the Python, there is a great website called W3 School. Okay, I don't know how many of you know about this. Go to this website, click on this Python button. Okay, here they will give you the tutorial here. Okay, so even if you'll go up to this while loop, for loop syntax up to functions also, that is more than enough for you. Okay, just cover this from Python syntax to Python array part. That will be more than enough for you. Okay, like take an example, I shown you for loop. So see, this is the example they are talking about, and this is the exact same example I shown you. Making sense? And the benefit of this is you can try it yourself also. If you click on try it yourself, see, they return the entire syntax. If you do the run, they are going to print the output at this line. Okay. So they will be printing here by reading this, they're given it. Similarly, if you want to add some extra value here and let's see whether it is printing or not to check, right? So again, we'll just write it, we'll run it. So basically we can do the edit everything. That is the benefit here. See,
Yeah,
it's got printed.
yeah.
And not only this, they have some test also in the end. Okay, if we come down, they will take you some test here, right? What are the things we have to write here? Okay, so just you have to write the things like what is the goal. Our goal is to print loop all the items, right? So we have to just write, okay, that entire syntax. Once we'll do it, then it will be done. Like let's, here we have to write simply for x in rows. Okay, and here we have to write the column basically. Okay, and if I'm going to do the submit the answer, then this will be the correct answer basically. Okay, because this is the thing only they are explaining us here for x in fruits print x, right? So exactly same syntax you have to write. Simply will do the submit answer. They will test your answer, and if it is correct or not, okay, they will tell you like this one. Okay, so this is a great website to test your knowledge. Fine.
Thank you.
Other than this. Okay, now we have some remaining part called function. Two to three parts is only remaining. Let me just show you that also. So one is the function. Okay, so function is something like that if you want to call something. Okay, function is just like some formulas or you want to do some work, something like that. Okay, so take an example here in the Python. If you want to create some function, okay, so you have to write something like this def, then you have to write some function hello. Okay, and then I'm writing here that you have to print. So welcome, something like this. So if I retain this, now what is going to happen is, okay, if somebody is going to call this function, hello, okay, like this. So if they will run it, so currently they will not print anything because we did not call it. We have to give this bracket here. If I now run this, I'm just calling this hello function, but automatically they are printing hello welcome. Okay. Now you know what is the benefit of this function? If I'm going to write a variable here inside this box, style name is just a variable. Okay. And here I'm saying that what you have to do is you have to press hello welcome. Okay. And then you have to just do the plus and you have to print the value of name. Okay. Now tomorrow, if somebody is saying me, can you welcome to a person called Kisan? If I'm going to run this, they will automatically print hello, welcome Kisan. Okay. Tomorrow somebody is saying is now person got changed. In place of Kisan, you have to welcome John. So I'll just press enter here. If I'll run it, so see they are welcoming the John. Making sense? Okay. That means you are changing the name. Okay, you are changing the values here. This entire thing you don't have to do any changes here. Okay, it is something like this. In the mathematics, once formula got created, right? So just you have to change the value of that formulas, right? Take an example. There is a formula called to do sum of two number. You have to add two number x plus y. Okay, so now I can change any value to the x, any value to the y, and at last they are going to give the sum only. We don't have to change the formula of sum. So exactly same way, I can just change the name here. Automatically, this output is going to be changed. Similarly, if I want to create the function file, will I able to explain all the three things in a single go? Actually, we'll be not able to complete this. Okay, so let's keep all these things function part tomorrow. Okay. Meanwhile, what you can do is you can come to the Python part also and just try to practice that. Okay. For loop, while loop, if condition that we talked about yesterday. Okay, and if you want to see some more examples, I said you about this website, right? So just come here, go here. Like take an example if you want to see for the if condition. You can just see here if condition also how you can write this type of the example also I shown you yesterday. Okay, for loop example that also I shown you. There are so many different example of the for loop they are going to show you. See this range example also they are telling us. Okay, this type of example I shown you that they will start the counting from 2, they will go up to 6, but they are not going to print 6, right? So if you'll see, if I'm going to run this 2, 3, 4, 5 only they are printing. Okay, if I want to say 2 to the power 2, you have to start from 2, go to the 20. Okay, so you can just change the value, you can practice it. So just practice it. Okay, make comfortable with the loops, everything. Okay, and function part we'll take it from tomorrow. Okay, so tomorrow we'll be seeing the function, how to read the file, how to write the file. Okay, these all things we'll see a little bit tomorrow. Okay, and if we'll get the time, then I will give you the basic idea of the git also, how to create the github account, everything that will be starting from the next week. Okay, so that's all for today. Any question, any doubt till now? No?
I think if we practice, then we'll have more questions, right? So we'll practice, and if we have any questions, we'll come up tomorrow.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thanks all of you. Have a nice day.
Yeah, thank you.